April 2020. A small-time YouTuber named Noah decided to film something different. No fame, no following, just a guy who loved nature. His idea was simple: drive out to a secluded forest in Sun River, Oregon, and spend the night in his truck.
I was originally not gonna make this video just because I don't really have my setup or anything yet. But a few days ago, I was camping in Sun River.
He figured it'd be the perfect escape. Peaceful, quiet, maybe even the start of a new hobby. Filming the outdoors and sharing it online. At first, it felt right. Noah parked his truck along a remote road, surrounded by tall trees swaying in the cool night air. But what started as a calm getaway quickly turned into something else, something he'd never forget. As night fell, the forest went still. The kind of silence where even the tiniest sound feels too loud. That's when Noah started to feel it. Something wasn't right. He thought he was alone. Then came the sound. Someone was trying the handle on his truck door. Slow. Careful. Like they were checking if he was awake. The handle jiggled softly, just enough to send a chill through him. Something, or someone was out there, watching him. Noah froze, his breath caught in his chest. Then he reached for his GoPro, not to protect himself, but to record.
I'm currently sleeping in the back of my truck right now. I don't even know what time it is. And there's someone walking around my truck right now. If you can hear that, it's pretty loud. He's been walking around for like 20 minutes already. My gun's in my cab though. I don't really know what to do. I'm a little freaked out right now, and it's like pitch black outside, probably like 2 a.m, and he just keeps walking around, and he's like really close to my truck. I've never been this scared, and like this doesn't make any sense because I parked somewhere where you couldn't see. No one was on that road.
Noah didn't move, didn't speak, just sat there, frozen, hoping the doors would hold. Every part of him wanted to run, but the truck was all he had, and he wasn't going anywhere. The sounds didn't stop. Footsteps. Slow, steady, circling, the handle jiggling again, over and over, like whatever was out there knew he was inside, and wasn't in a rush. Minutes dragged on, each one heavier than the last. Then, silence. Eventually, it all stopped. Noah didn't sleep. Couldn't. But he knew one thing. His camera had recorded it, and whatever he caught on that GoPro still haunts him to this day.
I was trying to peek in my truck quite a bit with all these marks. I didn't even notice until I got home. Handprints there, a lot of scratches, stuff like that. Dragging his finger on my side of my truck. Looks like to be trying to get inside my truck. That's really all I could tell from when he was walking around. That's new. Don't know how that got there. More handprints trying to get in my truck. At least the back canopy was locked, but yeah, that was the result. So that was probably the scariest camping experience I've probably ever had in my entire life. So yeah, well, I'll keep you guys updated and let you know.
Noah never went back to Sun River. Whatever was out there that night remains a mystery, unseen, unexplained, and still unsolved. Noah's story faded into silence, but out there, in the vast stillness of nature, strange things kept happening. Different forest, different man, same uneasy feeling. One morning, a YouTuber set out on what he thought would be another peaceful trip. To his thousands of subscribers, he was known for filming stunning, remote places across the country. This time, he'd chosen the Mulan Rim, a wild, isolated stretch of land that promised both beauty and complete solitude. The road there was rough, the terrain unforgiving, but for someone used to living on the edge of nowhere, it felt like just another adventure. At first,
it's dark, but I think I'm just gonna lay down and watch a little TV, and then wait for it to cool down some. It's just hot. Yeah, I'm gonna make some dinner. I know this is like the worst stuff in the world. Well, maybe not really, but I'm sure it's not 100% healthy for you, but I actually kind of like it. And it sounded pretty good, so I'm gonna make it.
By the time he reached the campsite, the sun had dipped behind the mountains, casting long shadows through the trees. The forest was quiet, still. As darkness settled in, he set up his camera, ready to film another peaceful episode for his viewers. Just him, the wild, and the silence. Inside the camper, he started dinner. It was a simple scene, the soft hiss of the stove, his voice steady, talking to the camera about the day's drive and the beauty of the place. Then, a sudden thud, loud, sharp. It hit the side of the camper hard enough to make the walls shake. He froze. The sound had come from outside. Not wind, not a squirrel. Something heavier, something with intent. His heart picked up. Thoughts raced. A branch? An animal? Or something else? He stood still, listening. The only sound now was the burner ticking under the pan. Then came the footsteps, slow, measured, crunching through the dry underbrush, getting closer. They circled the camper, not wandering, but following a path, precise, like they knew exactly where he was. The flashlight beam cut through the dark, but outside was just black, deep, empty black. He strained to see through the windows. The footsteps shifted, now behind him, then to the side, like whatever was out there was playing a game. Step, pause, step. Each silence between them made the pressure in his chest tighten. He didn't speak, didn't move, just waited. And eventually, the sound faded. Whoever, or whatever, was out there was gone. Minutes dragged into hours, each second marked by the steady thump of his heartbeat. The camera kept rolling, capturing every flicker of fear in his eyes as he waited for the first light of morning. Then, something caught his attention. A chair. It had been set beside his small table the night before, but now it was several feet away, moved, not knocked over, not blown by the wind, shifted, deliberately. That's when he knew something had been there. Determined to find out what, he grabbed his gear and headed north, deeper into the woods. The fear hadn't left. It clung to him with every step. About half a mile in, he found it. A tent and a truck, tucked into a clearing, hidden just out of sight. Someone else had been out here after all. The campsite felt wrong. He hadn't seen a single person since he arrived, but now, just beyond the trees, stood a man, alone, still, staring into the woods like he'd been there all night. There was nothing unusual about the way he looked, but something was off. Too quiet, too close, too coincidental. Was he the one outside the camper, the one who moved the chair? Every instinct screamed, "Stay away." So he did. He turned back and drove to his own site, heart racing. Later, he uploaded the footage. The thud, the footsteps, the silence between. Viewers could see the fear in his eyes, hear it in his voice, and just like him, they had no answers, only questions. The man in the woods was never identified, and the fear he felt that night, it never left him. But he wasn't alone, because far from that forest, someone else was chasing fear on purpose. Urbex Hill is one of the most well-known urban exploration channels on YouTube. Run by Chris Hill, the videos are raw, unfiltered, and often downright unsettling. He doesn't just explore abandoned buildings, he seeks out the ones most people avoid: forgotten asylums, shut down prisons, old military sites, the kind of places other explorers skip, especially at night, especially alone. But that's exactly how Chris does it. Every time. In January 2023, Chris returned to a place he'd explored before, the abandoned Paul Ryer Elementary School in Cleveland. The school had served the community for nearly 100 years, before shutting its doors in 2015 due to dropping enrollment. Although there have been rumors about converting the property into housing, nothing's been done. As of 2025, the building is still standing and is in rough shape. As Chris steps inside, it's obvious the place has been left to rot. Flooded lower floors, crumbling walls, rust everywhere. Old papers, torn up books, and trash are scattered throughout the halls. And yet, there are signs of recent visitors. On a few of the whiteboards, there are chalk messages, new enough to raise questions. Someone else had been inside. This was Chris's second time exploring the school. After he posted his first visit back in March 2022, the comments filled with memories from former students and teachers, people who were heartbroken to see their old school in ruins. But during this second visit, something felt off. A little after the 10-minute mark, the calm breaks. You can hear it, quiet at first. A rustling sound, then another, unexplained, and coming from somewhere deep inside the building.
What is that? Do you hear that? Somebody's here.
As Chris rounds a corner in one of the hallways, another flashlight suddenly appears, aimed straight down the corridor. It seems like there's just one person, maybe another urban explorer, or possibly a squatter. But at 1 a.m., in a building like this, it's not the kind of situation you want to test. Chris doesn't call out. He doesn't try to see who it is. Instead, he backs off, quietly and quickly, putting distance between himself and the stranger. He heads toward the library, then continues exploring the upper floors. Eventually, he makes his way into a bathroom on the top floor. That's when it happens again. Another encounter.
Somebody's in there. Scared the out of me. Oh, man.
At the far end of the bathroom, Chris spots something. A figure. It's human-shaped, still, completely motionless. For a moment, he just stares, trying to process what he's seeing. Then, instincts kick in. Chris pulls his gun and heads back inside, ready to confront whoever or whatever is standing there.
Hello. Oh, it's a f***ing toy. Oh my god, that scared the out of me.
Turns out, the figure wasn't a person at all. It was a mannequin, propped up at the end of the bathroom, likely placed there to scare off trespassers. But the timing is what made it unsettling. We don't know how long it had been standing there, but just as Chris spotted it, it fell forward, almost like it moved on its own. Most likely, it was the sound waves from his footsteps or voice echoing off the walls. Still, the moment was chilling. Most people would have turned around and left right then and there. Chris didn't. After clearing the rest of the bathroom, just to be sure, he kept exploring like nothing happened. Room after room, he passed by piles of books, whiteboards, and old school supplies. All of it still usable, all of it left behind. No one had bothered to donate a thing. About 30 minutes into the video, Chris makes his way to the roof, risky on its own, not just because of the law, but because the roof looked ready to collapse at any second. Thankfully, he makes it back down in one piece. But just as he does, a noise echoes down the hallway. Something strange. Something waiting.
The safe is still here. I wonder what's in it.
While exploring one of the rooms, Chris hears something strange. A distant, low howl echoing through the building. He lifts his camera toward the sound and catches it. A shadow, moving behind the door at the far end of the room. By now, it's obvious he's not alone in the school. And worse, it feels like someone might be following him. Once again, Chris draws his gun, ready for whatever's coming. But as he checks the rooms, one by one, there's no one there. No voices, no movement, nothing. At that point, he's had enough. He says he's calling it a night, ready to head home. But just before he leaves, there's one last encounter waiting.
This place is weird as hell. Oh, here it is. This place is crazy. I don't remember the last time I explored it. Hello? Hello? What? Okay, I know I heard somebody coming down these stairs. I'm out.
As Chris tries to find his way out of the building, he hears it. Footsteps, clear, steady, coming from the stairwell directly above him. He rushes up, calling out to see if anyone responds. But there's no answer, no movement. Just silence. Whoever was there, if anyone was, didn't want to be found. Luckily, Chris makes it out unharmed. And despite everything that happened that night, he's continued exploring, still uploading, still walking into the dark, alone. Chris made it out of the school that night, unharmed. But not everyone who walks into the unknown gets so lucky. Because just a few miles away, there's a different place, with a history that's much darker. Holton Avenue in Cleveland, Ohio, has a reputation, and not a good one. The entire street is lined with abandoned, decaying buildings that give off a feeling most people don't want to stick around for. One of those buildings is the First Hungarian Baptist Church, originally built in 1913. Like the rest of the street, it eventually fell into disuse and was left behind. Then, in April 2016, something horrifying happened. The body of a woman named Jessica Coleman was found there after she went missing. To this day, no one has been held responsible. In July 2023, a different explorer, Chris Hill, visited Holton Avenue to document the church and the surrounding area. Inside, it looked exactly how you'd imagine. Shattered glass, rotting walls, and graffiti covering every surface. But it was down in the basement that things took a strange turn. Chris spotted something he hadn't seen on his last visit, a small action figure of Melvin the giraffe from Madagascar, sitting alone. It wasn't there before. Knowing he's often not alone in places like this, Chris set up several cameras throughout the church, and around 10 minutes into his footage, one of them picked up something seriously creepy.
That's weird. That was upstairs.
Doors don't just shut on their own, and since there wasn't much wind that night, it became clear someone else was in the church with Chris. But after searching the building room by room, he didn't find a single person, so he stepped back outside to explore the rest of Holton Avenue. If the church was in rough shape, the houses were even worse. Most looked like they could collapse at any moment. About 30 minutes into the visit, Chris picked one of the most run-down homes on the block and made his way inside. Eventually, he found himself in the basement. And that's when things took a turn. A dark one.
It actually looks like it's just underneath the house. It's not really a basement. Still creepy. Sorry. I didn't know nobody lived there. It smelled like I knew somebody was in there.
While Chris is down in the basement, a sound echoes from the floor above. He climbs back up to check, and that's when a curtain snaps open. Face to face, a stranger stares back at him. Chris mutters a quick apology as he bolts out the front door and into the street. That's when it hits him. The house, despite its wrecked appearance, wasn't abandoned at all. Someone was living there, and they had electricity. It became clear that many of the abandoned homes on Holton Avenue weren't empty. They were occupied, and whoever was inside didn't want visitors. It was something Chris hadn't noticed during his first visit, and now that he had, he decided to call it a night. Whatever was happening inside those houses, he wasn't going to stick around to find out, because sometimes the most unsettling thing about a place isn't what's been left behind, it's who's still there. But that was just one street, one night. And while Chris was backing away from the unknown in Cleveland, something equally strange was playing out somewhere else entirely. Sam is a YouTuber based out of Cleveland, Ohio. He's been posting videos on his channel, The Northwest Wind, since 2016, mainly focused on what's known as stealth camping. If you're not familiar, stealth camping is exactly what it sounds like: parking your camper somewhere you technically shouldn't, and spending the night without drawing attention. Sometimes, that's in the middle of nowhere. Other times, it's right under people's noses. In January 2024, Sam uploaded footage from a stealth trip deep in the Cleveland woods. He left his van parked near a local dog park and made the rest of the hike on foot. Not long into the walk, he came across something odd. A tent, torn to pieces. It looked like it had been there a while, but something about it felt off. Still, he moved on. Once he reached his spot, Sam set up camp, lit his small stove, and started cooking as the sun dipped below the trees. That's when he saw them. A couple of people walking past the edge of his camp. They didn't say anything, didn't look back, but something about them set off an alarm in his gut. Sam mentioned it on camera, said the whole area felt wrong, and that he was starting to feel unsafe. Any seasoned camper would tell you. When your instincts tell you to leave, you leave. But Sam didn't. He stayed, and by the time he zipped up his tent for the night, the real story had only just begun.
There's somebody, hang on. I don't know if they could see it or not through the tent. I don't think so. I'm leaning right up against the light, but somebody's walking around out there very close to the tent.
Seconds ticked by. The footsteps outside didn't stop. In fact, they were getting louder, closer, crunching through the underbrush with no attempt to be quiet. Sam called out. Once, then again. No answer. He tried a third time, then a fourth. Still nothing. But on the fifth call, someone finally responded. And in that moment, every camper's worst fear, the one you always hope stays just a story, started to unfold right outside Sam's tent.
They're walking around outside in circles.
Hello? Hello? Alright, I don't like this. Hello? Hello? They're touching my tent. Stop. Hello? Hello? Alright, I'm getting out of here. Hello? Hello? I don't know what this is, but we're getting out of here. Hang on. Hello? Okay, they're walking away now. What do you want? What do you want? I have a knife. Where's my knife? With me. With me here. Holy crap. Get away. What do you want? Hello? I can't see you. Hello? All right, I'm getting out of here. We're getting out of here.
Viewers who watched Sam's video were quick to point something out. If you think you're being stalked in the middle of the woods, it's probably not the best idea to sound scared. But in the moment, Sam couldn't help it. He said things like, I can't see you, and I don't like this. I'm spooked. To some, it sounded like fear. To others, weakness. And then, just like that, the footsteps stopped. Whoever was out there seemed to walk off into the dark, but when Sam finally unzipped his tent and stepped outside, they were still there, standing just a few feet away, motionless, watching him from the trees.
They collapsed my tent on me. I don't know which way they went. I think they went this way. I see you. Get away! All right, I'm spooked. I don't like this. Get my headlamp on and we're getting out of here right now. They're just standing there. They're just standing there. What do you want? Leave me alone!
Shaken from what he'd just seen, Sam did what anyone would. He decided the night was over. No more filming, no more camping. He packed up and started making his way back toward the van parked near the dog park. But the nightmare wasn't done with him yet, because as he left the woods behind, things only got worse.
All right, they're moving again. I don't know, I'm getting out of here. We're going. I'll come back for this some other time. All right, let's get out of here. I'm leaving, don't follow me. I don't know where to go. I don't know which way to get out of here. I smell your cigarette, I can hear you. I hear you.
As he made his way through the trees, Sam looked back one last time toward the campsite, and that's when he saw them. The same figures, now digging through his gear, stealing whatever they could grab. But Sam didn't stop. His fear outweighed everything, even his belongings. He left it all behind and took off, running through the woods in the dark. Then he glanced back again. They were chasing him. No more silence, no more waiting. Now, they were coming straight for him.
This has got to lead back to the main trail. I don't know where they are. It's all foggy up here. I got water in my headlamp. I don't know where to go. I don't see or hear anybody anymore. I hear them coming. Can't see the shadow. Here's a path. Okay, get me there. I'm recording all of this. I'm calling up police. All right, I'm back on the path. Back on the path. Okay. Okay. Get away from me!
Sam eventually made it back to his van and drove home, shaken but safe. Later, he uploaded the footage and gave his viewers a full rundown of what had happened. As expected, the comment section was split. Some accused him of faking the whole thing, pointing out that no one would realistically keep filming while sprinting through the woods in the dark. But watching his reaction, it feels real. Panic hits people differently, and not everyone responds the same way under stress. As for who those two men were or what they wanted, that part remains a mystery. If it was meant as some kind of twisted prank, it was a dangerous one. But what's strange is that when Sam returned the next morning, all of his gear was still there. So if they weren't trying to rob him, what were they trying to do? Whatever their plan was, we'll never know. But one thing's for sure. Running might have saved him from finding out. In each of these stories, the settings were different. An abandoned school, a crumbling church, a quiet stretch of woods. But the feeling was the same. Something wasn't right. Whether it was footsteps in the dark shadows in a broken hallway, or strangers silently watching from the trees. These explorers went looking for stories, and they found them. But the scariest part? It's not always what's caught on camera. It's what was just out of frame. Still watching, still waiting. Until next time, stay safe out there, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.